Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? You know you like that. It's King on the beat. You know I'm feeling the heat. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. I have a big announcement. Wait a minute. Let me put some stuff on my lips. Alright, welcome back, guys. I have a big announcement, big announcement. I finally got a camera stand. Thank you, Jesus. So now recording is stress free. All I have to do is put the camera on this recording stand, press record, sit down, and you know how we do. Get down to business. Sorry for the background noise. It's my dog. He thinks that I'm gonna come out anytime soon, so he's literally standing at the door. So if you hear banging on the door, it's the man. But today we're gonna be talking about a different sport. We always talk about football on this channel. So today I was like, you know what? Let me talk about a different sport. Have you guys ever heard of UFC? Yeah, we're gonna be talking about UFC 229. Connor Mcgregor versus Khabib. I'm sorry if I messed up your name, but against Khabib. And basically, I just want to do a reaction video to that press conference, right? So Khabib is 26 now. Connor is meant to be one of the best inside the division, inside UFC right now. And this is probably going to be one of the biggest fights of the century in UFC. One thing I like to say about UFC is that hats off to them. They're able to get fighters against each other in their primes, so you won't have that debate that you won't have to debate that Connor was 30, Khabib was, let's say, 26. Connor was at the end of his prime, Khabib was in his prime. You have two fighters who are in the peak ages of their careers and they're fighting. So I want to give hats off to Dana White for accomplishing to make this fight happen and honestly doing it so quick. And right off the bat, from the start of the press conference, Conor McGregor is doing Conor McGregor things, offensive language, and all those shenanigans. But I want you guys to just look at Khabib, and the whole time Khabib is just chill. He's not really paying attention to Conor. And in fact, there's even segments in the thing where he's literally continuing to ask questions while Conor McGregor is literally talking crap to him, and Khabib is literally just answering the man's question and see if Conor's not there. So in that instance, he made Conor look small. You know when your kid is your father and your kid is constantly whining and you're just ignoring your kid. It shows power over the kid that, listen, you can't get what you want and I'm not always gonna listen to you. So I was like, okay. So normally when Conor McGregor is talking a lot of crap, it gets under his opponent's skin. And they usually start to flare at him, or you see their body language start to change. But Khabib didn't show any of that. You could sincerely see from Khabib that this man is not scared of Conor. And I feel like this is great because every time Conor comes against a fighter that is not scared of him, he loses. The first time he fought Nate Diaz, he lost. Against Mayweather, he lost. And now against Khabib, I believe he's gonna lose because you guys know about choking, right? If you watch sports, you know about choking. So choking is a slang for not being clutch. So being a clutch performer is basically in the most intense moments of the game, you are able to meet the game's needs. That's being clutch in a sense. So basically, choking is actually science. It's a science. It's a science that when you're choking, or when you're choked, or when you're tensed up in those clutch moments, which you are seen as unclutch, your muscles tense up and everything tenses up, so you don't perform at the level you're meant to. So now, how does this relate to Conor McGregor? When Conor McGregor fights his opponents, he's the champion of press conferences. So against Jose Aldo, not so much Chad Mendes, but Eddie, he won those press conferences and got inside their heads. So basically, these guys were going into the fight intimidated and scared of Conor McGregor, which then caused them to start choking. And in that sense, it means that their muscles were tensed up. So in the Jose Aldo fight, when Conor caught Jose Aldo, because Jose Aldo was already scared to begin with, and his muscles already tensed up and was choking, when he hit him with that punch, maybe against another fighter he wouldn't have got knocked out because he's not scared of that fighter. But against Conor, he got knocked out because his muscles were tensed up. And that's why when he fell to the ground, he was like, because his muscles were tensed. And that's going to play a big factor inside this fight, because if Khabib is not tensed up and is not choking and has not let Conor McGregor get inside his head, which I believe he hasn't, that means that he has an advantage already, because that means that he can eat McGregor's punches. Because if you watch the Chad Mendes fight, Chad Mendes was eating the punches and also he gave him work, but Chad Mendes didn't have the full camp. Khabib does. So basically what I'm saying is that the mental warfare game in these press conferences is what's going to have a big toll on these fights. It's going to be a big upper hand. If McGregor wins the mental warfare, Khabib going to lose. But if McGregor doesn't win the mental warfare, it's going to be an interesting fight. Another thing I'd like to talk about the press conference is that, is it me or did Conor McGregor look off? Usually when he was talking, it was like his body language was off. Then he starts saying that, oh, I believe I'm going to knock him out in the first round, but I have been wrong before. Which fighter says that, but I have been wrong before? He said, oh, I'm going to knock you out, but but he says that. The moment he said but, he lost all power. Because the moment you say but, that means there's a sense of doubt. And in a sense of doubt, that means there's a sense of you don't have that confidence that you once had. Because if that was Jose Aldo next to him, he would have been like, oh, I'm knocking him out in the first round for sure. That's what he's going to say. But because he knows that Khabib is a mighty opponent, and he knows that Khabib isn't like the others, he said but, because he has a little bit of self-doubt in himself. Then my brother said that when he said the but, he was referencing the Floyd Mayweather fight. And I agree with that, because against Floyd Mayweather he did crap. But then again, that's boxing, not UFC. So you can say, he can say he's butts in boxing, but when it comes to UFC, like in the last years, apart from Nate, who has been able to stand toe to toe with Conor? Pretty much no one. So for the press conference, to me, even though Chael Sonnen said that Khabib lost because he was asking questions, I believe that the answering of the questions was to show how ridiculous and dumb Conor McGregor sounded. And to every person that isn't up Conor McGregor's bum and licking his ass, they would know that this guy actually sounds dumb. Like, this guy was saying that the McGregors fought off the British Empire, and I'm pretty sure he got that from the movie Braveheart, when the Scottish men were fighting off the British Empire. Because I even googled the McGregors and nothing showed but whiskey and socks, so I don't know what McGregor's on about there, because he ain't fighting his family's not that deep, his family is not like, they're not that nice. But honestly, this fight is going to be a great fight. That's one video of many about this fight. Next time I'm going to bring my brother, because he's a UFC maniac and I've been following the UFC, so it's not as if that, oh, I'm just making a video about UFC because it's going to be one of the biggest fights. Nah, I've been watching UFC, guys. It's just that I thought, let me add some variety to my channel. So thank you guys for watching. It's King Colin Walker. You know how we do. Peace.